Yeah, we got all kinds of video. Ricky Romero, we are live. It's another edition of the Let's Go Ricky Ro podcast. Bethel Duran, Ricky Romero, and Josh Thole. Today's episode is going to be a good one. So normally I have a couple things and tell the guys, hey, what's up? Here's what we're going to do. But producer Thole, Ricky, is on fire today. Like, normally we'll go back and forth on the group chat. Rick, he called me this morning, told me what he wanted to do, told me how he needed time, and I'm like, yeah, totally. At the end of the show, you get totally time, no problem. No. I need a good block. So before we get into Josh Thole, who's got brand new gear, by the way, Ricky, how are you doing, man?
Well, he's got my address, so I hope we get that gear here soon too. Everything's good. Coming off a long weekend with the kids, but other than that, everything's good. They're back at school today, so
All right. No wonder the house is quiet today. All right, good. All right, let's get going. Josh Thole. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask how you doing, but just let everybody know we will have the topics later on in the show. We have a good rant going on, and for everybody who's been asking about the stickers, look, they're right here. I have been mailing out stickers, but here's the problem though. I told everybody last week, if you want stickers, let me know. Well, I can't send you a sticker if you don't give me your address. Like, it's been a lot of yeah, and then no. Totally, before we get going, where's Owego, New York?
Like near Binghamton, an hour south of Syracuse, maybe.
So we have a big fan base in Owego, New York.
That's my people.
Okay,
That's my people.
but nobody has addresses there. Everybody's a P.O. box.
You do the math. Obviously doing something wrong. How many P.O. boxes can you have?
Well, there's 5 different P.O. boxes in Owego, New York that I got to send stickers to. So everybody's hiding, or they don't have. I don't know what's going on over there.
We hide off the grid. That's what we do.
Oh man! All right, Thole, let's go, bro.
All right,
Ricky,
here we go.
Me and Ricky, let's put the. I'm a single shot on Thole. Ricky, I'll talk to you in about 20 minutes. All right. We'll go ahead, Thole.
No. Hold on. Hey, Ricky, getting to your gear. I'll make sure the owner, Bob, sends the gear to you. Jamie's father is the owner of the team, so that'll. Jamie's just the backer. He's got the coin in it. But I have to tell you, I have to first start to apologize to these guys as they are now driving home. They just crossed the border.
Thole. First of all, who are these guys? Set them up.
Oh my God, Jamie McGinn.
Okay.
His father-in-law, Rick, and his brother-in-law, Brandon. We were together for about 5 days. Never laughed harder in my life. It was just incredibly fun. But the best part of the story so far is that they got stuck at the border last night just to prolong their trip one more night. But I was getting harassed because last week on the show, I had said that they were this hockey team, this minor league hockey team was the River Rail Yard Dogs. Well, River was not part of it. It's actually the Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs. I then mentioned they play in the league, the ECHL, to find out that it's called the SPHL. I think that's what it is, but Canadians shorten everything, so it's just the SP to them. So we're going to go with it. The Rail Yard Dogs in the SP. Minor league hockey, it's equivalent to we'll just call it A-ball baseball, Ricky. So kind of put that hat on. But a lot of passion, a lot of grinding. Met the coach, Dan Bremner, who's the coach, retired hockey player. Mickey runs the show there. Alexandra runs the show there. And when I say run the show, when you think you've seen it all in minor league sports, you've seen it all. Like, we got the president of the team shuffling blood off the ice. Something I've never, ever thought I would ever see before. All right. But I brought my notebook because I had to write it down. This was 5 days of straight buffoonery. And Ricky, knowing Jamie McGinn, you could just imagine what every night was like.
Oh yeah.
Morning skates.
By the way, really quick, Josh, really quick. You said it's like high A minor league ball. So is there any prospects that are potentially going to play in the NHL, or are these guys kind of on the very outside looking in?
Yeah, they're on the very outside looking in, but Jamie told me that there's been one guy from the SB get to the NHL, and it was a goalie.
Wow.
So
odds are slim.
I mean, yeah.
So is this slim, like right? Independent ball kind of equivalent? Somewhere around that line?
maybe.
Guys
Yeah,
just
maybe
chasing
that
the,
would be like
guys
a
chasing their
better,
dream.
yeah, they're still chasing their dream, but these dudes are like 30 years old.
Okay.
Oh,
But I
they're
have to
older.
tell you, yeah, they're older. They're not like 20-year-old kids.
Okay.
So they just, this is their dream and this is what they want to do. But I have to tell you, I have never seen people take a loss as like personal as the hockey players do. Like they lose the game. So the first night they lost, didn't play great. Everybody's pissed. But nobody speaks. You don't look at anybody in the eye for like 2 hours after the game. And I had said, I was talking to Dan, the coach. I was like, wow, y'all take this so personal. And he's like, yeah, it's like you losing 3 games for every game we lose, right? So you're on a 2-8 skid. That's like losing like 24 games or something, right?
Wait, totally. Are you in the room with them?
Yeah, I was. Ginner had me in the mix. I was on a bicycle, got my workout in while I was there. Yeah, I'll lead you in. After Sunday's game, we hung out, told old stories, because guys leave, just like we talked about, Ricky. Guys are in and out of there, and it's the same thing in hockey that they do. But Jamie, myself, Rick, and Brandon, we made sure that everybody stayed around for a little bit, kind of reward them for their victory, if you will. Second night they lost in overtime. Guy took a puck, threw a puck at the goal. The goalie, as Jamie describes it, goes, "Oh shit, he's flopping like a fish," and then the puck goes off of the goalie's back into the net. Game over. 20 seconds left in overtime. I mean, everything was just a story.
Packed arena?
They
Really?
fill this thing up. Saturday night there was 7,000 people there or something.
Wow.
I think like, so Sunday was a day game. There was like 3,000. Friday was a good crowd. It was like maybe 4,000. But they only play on the weekends.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
all right.
dope. So is it like you think during the week they have jobs?
No, they don't have jobs. They practice. This is their job. They get paid a little bit to do this. I was joking with Ginner. I said, I'm going to start a union for these guys because I'm a big union guy.
There you go.
Oh, man, they were coming at me.
All
They
right,
were
so-
fired up.
So the SB is the Southern Professional Hockey League is headquarters in North Carolina. They got 11 teams, and they got Knoxville, they got Evansville, they got Birmingham. So it's the South, and they're getting after it. There's a team in Florida. So these are guys hanging on, so getting after it. So Evansville Thunderbolts in Indiana, Fayetteville Marksmen, Huntsville Habit, the Knoxville Ice Bears. All right, so they're not in cold city. It's the South. So
Yeah, it's the South.
all right, it's the real South, and they're getting after it. Now, totally, these guys walk in there, and they're looking at you, and you're like, okay, who's this guy? Do you go and tell them, hey, I'm Josh Thole, Johan Santana, no hitter because of me?
No, there's a couple Canadians that I think when Jamie introduced me, I think there's a couple Canadians that were like, being that they were Blue Jays fans, they remembered who I was, and then the word kind of spread. But no, it was I didn't want it to be about anything other than the guys. I wanted to see this culture. It is absolutely fascinating. They got guys that work for free there. Gary, the clubhouse guy, works for free. It's amazing. No, it's these guys have legit passion, and it's unbelievable that like this is the players, the staff. I mean, you guys. I wish you could have been along for the ride.
Now, totally, when you were there, how did they play?
They were 1-3. They took 2 points because they had an overtime loss. Well, first off, hold on. When you travel with the owner, how do you think you're going to travel? You think Robert Kraft drives himself to every away game or every game period?
No, somebody's flying him.
You would think. Nope, not our group. Our owner drives us. So for all my guys listen, I'm sure they're listening. But I have to tell you, the experience was insane. Like it started on Wednesday when we met. We met up at a kind of a logistical, what made sense for us. They were all excited. They haven't been out of Canada in 2 years. We're going to an oyster bar. We get there, no oysters.
What?
So yeah, no oysters at the oyster bar. How great is that? It's like setting the tone for the week. We then leave on Thursday to drive to Roanoke. We get to Burger King. We order our food and they send us all the wrong food out. So it just like it just kept building, and then they lose Friday night. Now Ginner's got he's pissed off, and then Saturday they lose it overtime, and it was just everything had. And then our house, the heat broke. So we wake up one morning, it was 55 degrees in our house.
Dude, it really sounds like you were living a little bit of the minor league lifestyle.
Yeah, it's hey, as they refer to it, it's
shit that would happen in minor league baseball. Not
Yeah.
obviously you're traveling in a car, but like the bus breaking down, the heater going off, the AC going off, or you're finally getting to your place, and then you remember those years in the minors where you get to your hotel room and the it's in the middle of the summer and the room is scalding hot with no AC, and they're like, it's the middle of the night, it's like 2 a.m, and you just want to sleep, and you got to go get another room, and they don't have it ready, dude. It just kind of reminds me a little bit of those days.
That's exactly what I felt like. We woke up Friday morning. I think it went out Thursday night. Friday morning, and I was shivering. I went to look at the thermostat. It was 55 degrees. So our thought was Gitter didn't pay for the heat package in the Airbnb.
Totally. You were there. Was it in overtime when they lost 4-3?
Yeah.
That was superhero night with the Rail Yard Dogs. What happened there, Thole?
Well, we're
sweet
figuring out why. What? Yeah, the jerseys were sweet, except you couldn't tell who was who. They're both wearing the same blue. Another minor league move. I said, you got to tell the Pensacola people, like, let's just bring all of our jerseys just in case we match one day. But minor league hockey, right? What it is what it is.
What is superhero night in the minor leagues, Thole?
So all the kids dress up as like superheroes, and they walk on the ice and they judge who's got the best costume.
I mean, again, it's a little bit of that minor league lifestyle that we're talking about. There's certain themes sometimes that minor league teams have, and when you remember wearing those uniforms like Star Wars night in Buffalo, and it was like Star Wars uniform, and everyone's dressed in Star Wars. The place is sold out, and they have different stuff like that. That's kind of the cool part about the minor leagues, though. When you get like those jerseys and everything looks pretty cool.
You know what's crazy, and it's such a family. It's not crazy because it is what it is, but it's a family-friendly environment. Like, it's so reasonable for a family of 4 or 5 to go there and literally sit on the glass. You could buy 4 tickets, sit on the glass, go get some food, and you're out the door at $100, right? Like, what a great night of entertainment for a family to do, which is what I loved about it. And just the place is absolutely rocking.
So if that team won the championship of that league, that city would erupt.
No question, they would fill up every seat. I mean, the arena itself holds like 8,000.
Oh snap!
I swear to God, I thought I was getting into a Mickey Mouse operation. I was like this is minor league hockey. Like, what could this be like?
Totally, but you suited up though.
I suited up.
Yeah, you did. Look at that.
Look at you. The difference between us and them is we're so tough we don't wear helmets.
Exactly. Our guy Mikey V made that picture. So Josh, Thole, and Ricky playing for Pensacola. We're ready to go, baby. We are ready to go.
Well, I told Ginner on our way down. I said, hey, I said I want to suit up for a game. He's like, bro, this is not a Mickey Mouse operation. We got jerseys and everything. We're a hockey team. Like, this isn't beer league you're going to watch.
Hey, roll that tape. Roll that tape.
Wait. Hold the tape. I got one more thing. I got to give Rick a shout out because Jamie's father-in-law, Rick, this is no bullshit. So we're having all these problems. We don't get our food at Burger King. Jamie's bitching about the 7-hour drive the entire time. And we pull up to the house and Rick goes, what's next? Newspaper, 4 guys perish in a house fire as a joke. And then our heat goes out. I was like, literally could have all perished in a house fire. Like that. Yeah, that's exactly how our weekend was heading.
Oh, okay. Like a fun weekend though with the boys.
Yeah, so it was good. It was good. So Tole's texted me Saturday. I got this, guys. We got this. I got this. I'm gonna shoot the puck. I'm ready to go. Thole, set up what happened. You were in between period entertainment. Is that what happened?
Yeah. I told you. Yes, absolutely.
It was for Lifetime Chick-fil-A? Is that what it was?
1 year, 1 year
Oh.
Chick-fil-A, and because I didn't eat a whole lot on the trip, I needed this. There was no making fun of. Nobody made fun of me of how much I ate all weekend, but I could have used as Canadians call them, chick sandos. They don't ever finish a sentence. The chick sand, like the chick sand. So I could have had chick sands for life from the Chick-fil-A.
So totally, but
Yeah.
so what happens? You go on the ice, they
Yeah.
bring you out, and you're the guy, and set up the scene. What's going on?
Well, so the crowd all exits to go get drinks and beer and food. They hear that we're going to shoot the puck, and then everybody comes back on. They normally do one, but they shot two because the owner of the team asked if we could just jump in line and do it. So here's the deal. You get 3 pucks. One from the left, one from center, one from right. You have to make one in this really tiny hole. If you make one, that's when you get the chick sand for life, or for a year. Sorry. I'm leading off, so there's a lady shooting behind me. I'm a little nervous, like, God, if I don't make them, these guys are gonna wear me out. And then the lady's like, your friends are gonna kill you if I put one in and you don't.
She's chirping you.
Yeah, she's chirping me because that's what you do at hockey games, I guess. So I take my first shot from the left, kind of the left hash, but like center ice, with the net. I'm like, oh my God. You at least got to hit the net, right? Because there's a board over the net. So then I go to center ice, make a nice shot, miss just a touch right. Then I go over to the right hash, and I throw a nice, as Ginner says, that was saucy. So he said the mechanics look good, but I just barely missed again. So I didn't get chick sands for a year, but I did have a good time doing it, and I'm very grateful that Mickey was able to arrange that for me.
And I'm very grateful that they were able to send us the video of
Yeah,
Josh
that's
Thole.
right.
Here
I'm
it
gonna post
is.
this on Twitter and get feedback from my Canadian friends on Twitter and see what they think of the shot.
What's that goal? The golfer Max Homa said, "Rate my swing or fix my swing." You know, we got to get a hockey player to rate Tole's slap shot. So here it is, Josh Thole on. Wow! Like just.
You heard the crowd. You heard the crowd.
Chirping you in the back, though.
Look I'm doing the slow-mo on the YouTube. It's going. Not even close. Totally. The intern to the left is like looking at the puck going to where the Zamboni would be. And here's the best part.
God, I was getting killed after every shot.
Totally. Why did I expect something like this going on? If you ever seen the movie Slapshot, you know, after the fighting scene.
I got my eye on the 3 of you guys. You pull one thing, you're out of this game. Now I run a clean game here. I have any trouble, I'll suspend you. I'm listening to a fucking song!
It was Slapshot-esque. I was waiting for that,
Yeah,
Totally.
I just got it. I can't tell these guys. The people in Roanoke, my crew that I traveled with, literally some of the best 5 days. Like, I mean, just laugh after stinking laugh. I mean, there's so much more, but I mean, we could do this for hours, right? But
I wonder if we can get Jamie on right now to just kind of give us a rate on that shot.
we can maybe send the link. Let me see.
Send him the link. We can wait for that. Send him the link. Do you have that, Totally?
I'd like to hear more chirping, a la Tulowitzki towards Josh Thole. I'm sure Jamie would go in hard on.
Why do I have a feeling what we've heard from Thole is like 95% of the truth? Like, there might be something that's missing there. You know, why do I have a feeling something like that was missing?
He said it was a great shot.
It was a great shot. Oh, while that's going on, Ricky and I went to Riviera last week. We had a good time at the golf tournament. We saw some pros.
We were busy doing this one.
Yeah, we were doing that. We were hanging out at the golf tournament. We saw a Canadian golfer. What's his name?
Adam Hadwin.
Adam Hadwin. We saw him. So we saw some people out there. It was cool at Riviera hanging out. Ooh, it's getting windy here. Here in Carson. Hold on real quick.
You know what
Hey.
the most you know what the most frustrating part is about watching those golfers is some of them don't look very athletic, but God, they demolish a golf ball and like how they make it look so easy. I guess it's the same. It would be the same thing. Them saying the same thing about us, playing. But those guys are so good. And it's crazy we got to see the guy Joaquin Neiman tee off and we didn't even know who he was.
Yeah.
I took video of him and I was like, damn, this guy looks like he can mash the ball. And sure enough, like that first tee set the pace for him for the whole weekend.
Because of us, he won. We showed up there. We were there. Like almost Chile. He's like what 5'9" 150 maybe. Crushing.
150, yeah.
Maybe crushing. Oh, we got
that was.
Hey, can you like call in? Like if I were to like pass the number to you,
no, yeah.
Call in?
He just has to send the link.
I sent him the link.
Yeah, all he has to do is click on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll move on. We'll get
all
all right.
Yeah, I'll text it to him.
So Thole had a good time in Roanoke. Ricky was at Riviera.
Yeah.
We had a good time all weekend. It was fun, but it was the Roanoke Yard Dogs.
No, Rail Yard Dogs.
The Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs.
It rolls right off the tongue. Rolls right off the tongue.
They inherited that name, right? That had to be.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, all right. Let's see here. All right. So Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs. We'll get rid of them.
What a weekend. Good job, both of us.
We made the team. We need that jersey coming right our way, all right? So we are ready to go. All right, so we eventually do talk about baseball, but you know what I realized? This sucks because I'm looking around for stories. I go and get a couple stories, and usually there's something there. And all I read are lockout stories about what could be happening, what couldn't be happening. And as a member of the media, I know when there's BS being thrown around. I can tell when it's being who's saying what or whatever it is. And like I was telling Thole, it depends on who says what. And so I don't want to talk about lockout because it's a bunch of BS. It's a bunch of negotiating back and forth. I can only imagine U.S. players looking around. It's now, February 23rd, whatever date is. You guys should be like, your second week of spring training? Like you're already figuring things out. What's going on?
You're already over spring training at this point.
Yeah, exactly. You can't wait for the season to start.
Now, Thole, you're involved union-wise? I mean, you're not an active player, but you're still involved? Or what's going on?
Yeah, no, I do some consulting on a youth project called The Player's Way. But it's just interesting. Like, I was involved for many of years over my playing career, and this is when it starts getting uncomfortable for the owners and the players, right? Like, you're now starting to miss spring training games. There's a lot of, like, jargon thrown out saying – MLB says this, MLBPA says X, but like, so as a player, you have to really stay in the loop and stay up to speed with what really, in fact, is the truth. But I will say this: I did read a report that Evan Drellick wrote an article at The Athletic, I think, that Major League Baseball had opted not to slash the amount of players in the minor league. So whether that was pressure from the Let's Go Ricky Rowe podcast or that was pressure from the MILB advocates, I think they got the message.
Yeah. Somebody's getting a message, and it's just
sucks. You're right, but a lot of it is...
No, real quick, listen, we talked about this on the drive up to Riviera last week about what you would be doing, and it's just you as a retired player who loves the game, I could hear the frustration in your voice of just like, damn, man, like get something done already.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to stand your ground as players.
Yep.
I've said this all along. There's a reason why we have the strongest union, probably in the world. And the more these guys stand their ground and don't give in, the better the game's going to be. So you just can't be giving in at this point. I mean, you've come this far. You can't just say, okay, yeah, we're going to fold. So I think is it frustrating? Yeah, but at the same time, especially younger guys should understand. Younger guys coming into the league are probably like, what the hell? Like, I'm coming fresh off my rookie year and I want to get going. I got my feet wet, but trust me, this is going to be worth it when it ends.
Yeah, man. Yeah. This is a conversation I'm pretty sure we're going to have every single week. It's going to be like, hey.
Yeah, for a while.
You feel like it's a
while?
But
to Ricky, real quick, yeah, I think it's going to be. That's just my gut. Ooh. I mean, when you read the reports, like you're talking about being off by a lot, right? Like it's not like we're closing the gap. It's like you can't be off by $70 million, right? So it's like I just think I do believe. Listen, at the end of the day, something will get done. But I also it is frustrating. It's frustrating as a player. But to Ricky's point, is like if there's any time to hold your ground, it's right now, because they. I don't know who. I really don't know who feels like they're in the driver's seat. But like we, as players and current and former players, like what the landscape looks like. As I've said before, the players are the product, entertainment industry. That's all you need to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess the only good thing, Beto, is that baseball is back at the college level, and we saw our guy, or a guy that we've had a chance to I've had a chance to interact a little bit with from Long Beach State, Luis Ramirez, who had an unbelievable game at Mississippi State, and I've heard it's really, really tough to play at that place, and to go in there and do what he did on Friday, man, that's pretty cool. But he's a kid from East LA, Josh, and he's the ace for the Long Beach State Dirtbags, and he went out there and I think went 6 innings, didn't give up a hit, maybe one hit, I'm not sure, but went in there, dealt, and did his thing. And he's projecting to be probably. I told him my last text message to him was like, "Hey man, you got next. Let's go." Yeah. So, that's great. Hopefully he continues to move forward. My Titans went lost 2 out of 3 to the Freeze in Stanford. That's always a bad loss because we don't like Stanford. But yeah, I mean they're young. New coach coming in, Jason Dietrich. He's going to do his thing. I know he is, and the program's in good hands. But it's probably going to be a little bit of an up and down season for them.
So we're going to go to Long Beach State games because I'm wearing my Long Beach State hat. Because of course, totally free.
You'll hop on any bandwagon that gives you free gear.
Yeah, speaking of free, LA Dimes, my guy Danny Hernandez is a quarterback's coach. So if you have a quarterback, send it to my guy Danny. So free, headphones are free. What's up?
The only way I'd wear that hat is if I was working for them. Other than that, no fucking chance.
Well, speaking of working for them, but that's another conversation we'll have for another day. We might be, anyways. Josh, totally.
I am rooting for Luis. I'm rooting for my boy Jordan Boitez there, for Eric Valenzuela too. I mean, great dude. I'm rooting for them. At the end of the day, it's fun to if they're the ones carrying the load in the Big West and into the playoffs and into the World Series, more power to them.
Yeah, and Luis, I was dealing, and his videos actually ended up on Pitching Ninja. I text on, do you even know what that is? Like, people told me it's a big deal. I'm like, this guy, that's the kind of pitcher he is. Totally, he just goes and deals.
What you gotta do.
Do you have that highlight? 92-93 with sink, JT. Just bowling balls, and it's coming from a bit of a funky delivery, so it's getting on you, and you can tell he had those hitters baffled.
Yeah. So all right, so let's move on. The next. So check this out. How old are you, Toli? What, 34, 35?
35.
Right? All right, Ricky's 34, 35, around that area. What happens when you start seeing kids that you saw in the clubhouse all of a sudden grow up, like Vlad Guerrero Jr., right? You guys saw that kid around, or like a Boba Shed, or those kind of kids. You start thinking about it. What about somebody like this? CC Sabathia's kid, Karsten, is committed to Georgia Tech. Like, that's huge for him. I know CC talks about his son a lot in his podcast with Ryan Rucco, R2C2. But you guys remember this little kid running around? Now look at him.
I just remember watching. I remember watching him on TV with CC, out on the field or in press conferences and stuff like that. So to see this, man, I mean, that's pretty dope. I mean, you only get this type of opportunities once in a lifetime, and for him to be able to succeed, and you wish him good luck, and hopefully he's the next Sabathia to make it to the big leagues.
He's big. He's about 6'5".
I mean, it's just unbelievable. Like I've always said that it's like even guys. It's weird too. Like guys now going into the Hall of Fame that like you played against, right? It's like the same kind of thing. Is you watch the Hall of Fame ballot, you're like, oh my god, that was a teammate. Oh my god, like I played against him for 3 years, and that is when you do feel like you age. And this is great. I mean, and a great school as well. So good for Carson and CC and the family. I think it's awesome, and to be around it and grow up with it.
And then, I mean, another guy that you've kind of seen too, or I've seen through social media because we follow each other. Andrew Jones's son too. He drops
he's a stud.
Tanks like Apple tanks, like it's easy work, and he's committed to Vanderbilt. So
Oh wow.
it's crazy to see that pedigree. Like they're following in Dad's footsteps. Obviously, CC signed out of high school, but and Andrew was freaking 18 years old playing in the World Series. But for their kid, like the odds are not, that everyone's like, oh yeah, like who's the next for me? They're like, who's it gonna be, Sebastian or Diego? I don't know, man. Like I don't know if they're gonna
Soleil,
like
the girl. I think the girl.
Yeah.
But when actually one does kind of start shifting towards that goal, you're just like, whoa, this is dope. And you watch those two kids and what they're doing right now, and it's pretty cool.
What to say though that a player like Andrew Jones and a player like CC Sabathia sending their kids to college when there's talks that these kids could be top 3 rounders.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you know what? The more I see though, like Vanderbilt commits to me, it's almost like they take that scholarship and they bet on themselves just because of the history of the program and what they've been able to produce the past few years. I feel like once you commit there, I think everyone's they don't really lose a lot of guys to the draft, but who knows? I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're the top 5 picks in the draft, I mean, that's, you can't get any much better than that. I mean, other than being the first pick overall or whatever it is, but I mean, it has to be life-changing money. I've always said, if it was my kids and it's life-changing money and it's an experience that I feel like he's ready for, then hey, go chase it. But again, the minor leagues is not easy, and Josh and I know that, and it's a completely different world. I don't care how much money you have, it's a different world, and mommy and daddy are there for you.
The thing about the difference with those guys, right? Because I think players have that same perspective. Anybody that's ever played at a high level has the same thing that you just said, right? It's like, we get it. Like, it worked out for me, but I wouldn't let my kid do that. Do what I did. Take the path that I took. And I like being in good hands, like go get a college education. Like I said, unless you're going to be one of the top five picks in the draft, like then maybe, but before that, it's like, I don't know. The risk for reward is not there. Go get a nice education.
You hear that?
Especially with the way the draft is now too. Everything's slotted, right? I mean, it's not like you can really negotiate that much money, like before. Now it's like you fall into a slot and either get a little bit more or whatever it is. So, I mean, yeah. To me, I Coach Dave Serrano, who's at Northridge now, posted a picture of us yesterday on his Instagram and on Twitter, and just it was us at the College World Series, and I like look back at that picture and I'm like, those 3 years, I wouldn't trade them for anything in the world. Like, what I was able to accomplish as a player, as a person, growing up that I did, going and playing in the World Series. Even if I wouldn't have played in the World Series, what we were able to do and the people I was able to meet in that group, I mean, college just completely changed my life, in and out of the baseball field. So it's just experiences that I feel like you only get once. And if you're able to take that college route, I mean, it's you grow a bit more. And Josh, you obviously came out of high school, so it was a bit different, for you, and when you're a high school player, I feel like when those high school kids come in, it's like, well, I was the shit where I come from. And then now you come into a program or to a team and you're just like, whoa, everyone's pretty damn equal here.
No, you are the shit, and then you're the shit, right? Like, I was the man in high school, then you just look around and you're like, I'm not just really a nobody. That's the hardest part.
You come in and your first spring training, there's like 30 catchers, and you're like, how the hell am I supposed to leap these guys or go over these guys? There's 30 guys, and the organization signs guys, releases guys, signs guys, and let's face it, we're all human. When you see stuff like that, you're just like, oh man, like, damn, I'm never getting to the big leagues. Oh damn, they signed another guy. So all that stuff runs through your head. And again, I feel like sometimes, again, Josh was talented enough to come out of high school. I wasn't, but yeah, the 3 years at college for me served me really, really well.
You just heard 2 professional athletes, one go to college, one went straight out of high school, both saying, I would send my kid to college. I don't want them going through what they went through in the minor leagues. You're right. And one of the questions is, how much is life-changing money? You know what life-changing money would be? Like, yeah, what would be life-changing money in your eyes, Rick?
The way the world is now, I mean, I don't think $1 million is enough.
No
2 million.
shot. I was thinking more in the line of 5. Like
Yeah, that's say 4 or
5.
5 million.
Anything north of 4 or 5, I think is like
for signing bonus, right?
right.
Or
Because
something.
but they right like into to Ricky's point, right? Where you guys live, gas is $5 a gallon right now, probably, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you signed for $2 million. Your million go to taxes,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got to effectively live off of that, which is like I understand that people are going, oh yeah, woe is me, $2 million.
No, but
I
baseball terms,
understand. I
baseball terms.
understand the
Keep it
point,
baseball
but
terms.
yeah, like as we said in previous podcasts, you don't make any money for a long time in this game, so you got to figure out how to close the gap. In baseball,
Yep.
like it's an expensive lifestyle. Even as you start getting into A ball, double A, the travel, eating out, renting a home, all of those things, like you have to like really know, take that money, invest it well, set yourself up for life, and then go run your dream. But you have to remember also, like that's not just in the current. What do you have to do? You have to fill the gap when you're done playing. How many guys play till they're 50? Nobody, right?
Yeah.
Except Julio
That and
Franco.
the big leagues isn't guaranteed either. I don't care if you get $1 million,
No.
you know, that turns into $500,000, maybe 600,000, and you got to live off of that for the rest of
Yeah.
your life. And who knows if you go to college? Maybe you do further in your life, but at the same time, you want to get married, you want to have kids, all that stuff. Like you really have to take into consideration. So yeah, life-changing money for me would be anywhere from $4 to $5 million and
Yeah.
higher, obviously.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, everyone's different, and everyone's like, oh well, what's wrong with 2-3 million? Well, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, but the big leagues isn't guaranteed for everyone.
Yeah,
Right.
it's an interesting conversation. That's why I love doing the podcast and the reactions that we get from a lot of people about we're not, or not we as a podcast, we're not on the soapbox saying, oh, back in my day kind of guys. It's more the reality of what it is.
Yeah.
And you're never doing the been there, done that. It's more of you're speaking from experience. That's why I love listening to your guys' stories. And I know sometimes we sound repetitive, but there's people listening to the podcast for the first time, and we get new listeners every single week. And it's about life choices for you because we have a lot of high school coaches listening to us, and we have a lot of young players who are like thinking, hey, at 15, 16, I'm a 5-star, I'm this, and that. And that might be happening to you pretty soon. But when you don't know anybody who's been there, done that, like back to example, Luis Ramirez, the pitcher at Long Beach State, come out of high school, drafted, but not really. Goes to Long Beach State, struggled. Junior struggled. This year, he's the Friday starter. Now there's talks about him being a first rounder or second rounder.
Yep.
And he's been asking Ricky, like, dude, what do I do? My mom and dad have no clue. Like, go to the people who are there and listen to these guys.
That's part of it. That's where you should take your growing up in college when you're trying to make it to the big leagues and stuff like that. You get punched in the face, and you learn how to react to that. When you get punched in the face in the minor leagues and you can't recover, and you keep getting kicked, yeah, it's next guy.
That's a perfect example, Beto, right? Like, so he got drafted, whatever. I would say he got drafted in the 20th round of the draft out of high school, 30th round. And he just says, oh, I'm just happy to go play. And he goes and he struggles for those couple of years that you just explained. Like, he struggled in college, which he has the right resources now to, like, effectively help get him to be the Friday night starter, which he is, where, like, they're not just going to tell him to go home. They're going to develop him and say, this is what it is. In the minor leagues, you have 2 bad seasons like that, you're out of there. Or the opportunities get less and you can never prove yourself.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I mean, I'm living proof of it. It happened to me. And I came in my freshman year at Cal State Fullerton. I was a leader in strikeouts in all of California. I had a great senior season, and I'm thinking, I'm gonna pitch here. And then you get there, and you're like, whoa, the level of competition. Obviously, Cal State Fullerton is one of the top teams in the country at that time, and then you start seeing yourself on the depth chart, and you're like, whoa, I got to go to the bullpen. I've never done the bullpen. And then I still pitched a lot for a true freshman. I think I got like 56 innings, I think, and got to experience the World Series as a young freshman and all that. I was a part of the team, but it was something that I wasn't used to. And when you go in for an inning and you give up a run or two and you see that ERA start going up, you're like, oh man, like this is crazy, and so it's all about learning yourself and learning through failures, and I feel like college teaches you that. And there, who's not to say, yeah, obviously in college too, if you fail, obviously they go out and get the next guy. But if they see potential, they can work with potential. And and Luis Ramirez is a perfect example of that right now. And again, it happened a little bit with me. I came from East Los Angeles. Nobody really knew who I was in the baseball world. In East LA, people knew who I was, but outside of that, no, I was nobody. And then made a name for myself. And in my junior year, like you said, Beto, he probably came in this. He's probably going to come in this season, and maybe like my junior year, I was like a top 5 round pick, and then the season goes on. Oh, he's working himself into the top 4 rounds, top 3 rounds, top 2 rounds. Oh, now he's working himself into the top 30 picks. You don't want it any other way, man. If you're consistently getting better every time, that's what you want from a baseball player. You don't want to peak your freshman year, and then by your junior year, you're flamed out. So, yeah, I mean, there's certain guys that are able to do that. There's those freaking natures that are able to do that for 3 straight years. They come out of high school and they go like, Josh Beckett is a perfect example. Guy was super young with the Florida Marlins at the time, leading them to a World Series. There's those special cases, but again, the odds are very, very much against you.
Yeah, I know we get in that rant every now and then, but I can't reiterate it enough, man. People just listen, man. Like, that's the thing. It's about listen to the people who've been there. And there's plenty of former players who are like, back in my day, like, back when we had to run through snow to go play baseball, all those kind of guys. I'm not saying that, but listen to this part. And when you have people who've been there, done that, why not listen a little bit? A perfect example is what Ricky found this week. So, Yadier Molina, if you walk around him, you're like, dude, that's fucking Yadi. He has a presence, right? I've been in the clubhouse with him. You're like, that dude has a presence. So if I'm watching him anywhere, I'm going to do what Yadi does. So Yadi Molina was coaching his kids this weekend, and he put it on Instagram. And Ricky, you can read this and translate it to example. But he put it on his Instagram about 13 and 14-year-old kid tournament. Go ahead, Rick.
No, and again, we're talking about Yadi Molina, who's played the big leagues for a long time. He's a future Hall of Famer. Probably has no business coaching young kids, but man, does he love it. And when you see the love and passion that he has, and his brother Jose who got me in the big leagues, pretty awesome that they're going back and doing stuff like this. And again, when you see Yadi being this involved, even with like the Caribbean World Series last year, Beto, he was there, he was playing hard, all that good stuff. So again, his post says, I won't read the first paragraph. He was just talking about congratulations to his team. But in the second part, he says, y un consejo al coach veterano, enseña más béisbol y menos maltrato verbal. El show es de los jugadores, no de los coaches. So right there, he's saying a piece of advice to the veteran coach. I'm guessing it's the opposing coach he beat. Teach your kids more about baseball and less about verbally cussing them out. Attention. The third paragraph says, atención padres, nunca deje que ningún coach maltrate verbalmente o físicamente a sus nenes dentro o fuera del terreno. No se lo permita. He's saying, parents, don't allow your coaches to verbally abuse your kids or physically abuse them too, in or out of the baseball field. And again, this goes to the stuff that we've been talking about, about people saying, oh yeah, kids nowadays are soft, this and that. This is coming from a veteran's mouth, and again, it doesn't teach you anything. And Beto, you sent me that little video thing about Evan Longoria doing a podcast too, and him saying, teach your kids to love the game. Like, teach them to love the game before anything else. If they fall in love with the game, then you've done your job, and they're going to want to come out to the field more. But if you're belittling them every time, that's where you lose them. And again, this is coming from Yadi's mouth. It's not that the kids are soft nowadays. There's a certain way to approach certain situations, teach them the game. If they make a mistake, it's about, hey, let's go. Like let's focus a little bit more, or let's do this, or let's do that. Explain to them the mistakes. But if you're belittling them every damn time, then it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I think there's a time and place for tough love, but
yeah. 100%.
I don't think that it should go away, but I think there's ways to handle tough love. Constructive criticism, I think, is probably the best. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. It's not, never embarrass, especially a young kid, never embarrass them in front of their teammates, never embarrass them in front of the opposing team, never embarrass them in front of the parents. Like, this is not rocket science. But the fact, I think where the problem lies is a lot of these parents and coaches, they try to live vicariously through them, right? Like, oh, I should have made it until I blew my arm out when I was 16. Like, Rick, I mean, guys, how many times have you heard that story? Or, oh, I blew my knee out, I would have been a catcher in the big leagues. Yeah, no, you wouldn't have. That the point is like, teach the kids a game, and that's what the message the last 3 weeks have been, of like, stop trying to like do that, like, don't do the wrong thing, just do the right thing, teach your kids to play the game properly, as Longo said, to love the game. Like, that's how we get people, that's how we get this generation back, is like, teach them to enjoy the game. That's what we did. We learned to enjoy the game in the backyard.
And that brings me to a point too, Beto. People who say like, oh yeah, this generation's kids are soft, this and that. I mean, I played with guys in college, you know, and in pro ball who if they got belittled, they would crumble, you know,
Yeah.
and it was our generation. So, you know, and this is coming from like, oh, guys who say, oh yeah, my generation was tough. My generation. Well, no, man, I saw kids, you know, or guys, players like get belittled or or just, you know, lose focus or couldn't handle signs or couldn't do this, couldn't do bunt plays, and they just would completely lose it. And so it's not about being soft or not. And like Josh said, there is a time for tough love. You know, there is a time for that. Yeah, no doubt about it. And I'm sure Yadi's fiery, you know, but I'm sure he's the first guy that'll put his arm around a player and explain to him the situation and what went wrong and what could be done better.
Yeah. You know why, Rick? You know why, Rick? Because a lot of these coaches have never gone 0 for 10, gave it up on the mound. Oh, that's the problem. Like, when you understand failure, like, what do we do as baseball players when we fail? Mm-hmm. Right? Like, it's not, we don't need anybody to yell at us. We have to find a way to fix so we're not so we fail less, because we're always going to fail in this game. And if you played at the highest level, you know that it is the hardest stinking game. I don't care what age you are. It's a hard game. It's hard to throw strikes. It's hard to hit balls. Like, it's tough. And yeah, I think it's awesome that the timing of this, that you found that this week, just in light of what we're talking about, because some people are like, dude, you're crazy. You're losing your mind. I'm like, no, I'm not losing my mind. You're losing your mind. And then for a guy with that kind of stature to come out and say something, there's a systemic problem in youth sports, and there it is.
Yeah. And again, like Josh said, it's the tough. I'm going back to the tough love part, and what Yadi is saying too, like, or what I said about Yadi, he'd probably be the first guy to kind of put his arm around you. Coaches love, like, you know, to me, I felt like I would gain the coach's respect by, if I, like Josh said, going 0 for 10 or struggling in a start. When you're in there the next day and you're like, all right, what is it that I need to get better? Coaches love being asked questions like, hey, where can I improve? What can I do better? Let's go work. Let's do this. Let's do that. If you're doing the little things, if you're there's a different, I heard a pretty cool quote yesterday, or a podcast, or a clip of a podcast saying, like, you know, the working hard, like when you say, oh yeah, I work hard and that's why I got to the big leagues. Well, working hard is a prerequisite to get to the big leagues. It's, what are you working hard at? You know, I'm working hard today on my mechanics or on my bullpen, throwing strikes. There's specific things that you have to do as a player in order to get better. But if you're just going out there and saying, I'm working hard, well, what's the definition of working hard? Everyone has a different definition. So just make sure you focus on your craft. You know, I had a young kid yesterday reach out to me about, you know, hey man, like, I'm struggling with my curveball. What is it that I can do better? Well, obviously I was like, if you have a chance to FaceTime, I'd like to talk to you FaceTime. But if you can, here's a message of, you know, hopefully it makes sense. And stuff like that. You know, when you're asking those type of questions, I know that kid's wheels are spinning in his head. He's saying, okay, what, I want to get better throwing my curveball. You know, and when you become that picky, especially at a young age like he is in high school, then it tells me that he's all in.
Love that. Love to hear that. Love to hear that. It's a fine line, and the days of people just yelling over and over and over, you know, So it works for some people, but it really doesn't.
Yeah.
Especially as
Because-
pros.
because-
I love when fans are like, "Oh, they should blow up in the clubhouse. The manager's got to do this." Man, if you flip over a table spread, you're just ruining food. Don't be doing that.
Because let's face it, Josh, everyone works hard. Everyone works hard in the big
Yes.
league. At some
Yeah.
in their own way. In their own way, they work hard. There's some guys
You're
that
not there because you didn't work, right? Like you're a worker. Period.
and even in the minors, guys are working hard, and some guys don't get the opportunity that they deserve. And so sit here and say, "Oh, work hard and you'll get to the big leagues." It's a bunch of bullshit. It really is. It's a prerequisite. You gotta learn work ethic. You gotta learn how to work hard. But you also, once you get to that, you start getting to that level. You got to start nitpicking about the things you have to work hard at. And there's certain things that you just, you know what? My fastball feels really good. I don't need to spend the next 15 bullets on fastballs. Maybe I want to spend my time on curveballs, or changeups, or cutters, whatever it is. So it's learning yourself and learning how to get better from that.
And if you guys want to, Ricky was on the Just a Good Conversation podcast. Go and check that out. Also, a young, skinny Ricky Romero and Kelsey Fullerton looking good right there.
Looks like a young El Duque.
Yeah. So I'll post the links to that on the Let's Go Ricky Rowe Instagram page, and also you had a good conversation with photographer Matt Brown, who was Angels photographer. I know him a little bit. You were with him in Fulton, so all those links will be on the Let's Go Ricky Rowe Instagram page right now. And I see everybody who said, "Hey, Beto, thanks a lot for the stickers. Here's my address." So there's people watching right now who are like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to send you my address." So just let me shout you guys out right now. Bobby Urias, who's in Chula Vista, is going to be getting a sticker. Fernando Cortez in Santa Fe Springs, no problem. Alex Cuevas, that's in Antelope Valley. Who else am I saying? Pablo Hernandez, who made a picture of Thole time, which we can't post because Thole looks like a monster. We're not going to post that one. Hey, come on, make Thole look good, bro. He's part owner of a hockey team now.
Why was it? Yeah, part owner. That's right.
Yeah. So we actually have an address in upstate New York. We have addresses going out in Vancouver, Canada. So I got to figure out how many stamps I need to send to Canada. So let me know, and I'll be sending them out there. Of course, they're all free. Villarreal in Jenison, Michigan. Oh, so we're going to Michigan. We got one up there. All right, cool. So we got listeners all over the country. You'll be getting stickers. I'm actually going to go to the post office after the show right now. Now, speaking of tough love, we had one, the video rant. This was submitted by our good friend Carlos De La Torre. We're starting to get friends submitting audio rants. So I've been looking for them. So, Los, I appreciate the one you just sent us. So we have Slapshot earlier. We don't need that. We had Thole shooting the biscuit for you just joined us right now. Let's watch Thole miss again. One more time. On the ice. Thole getting chirped by the people. No, it's always fun. But Los sent us this one. He said, Tommy Lasroda, Tommy always had his rants, no problems, but this is a different one. This was the 1977 World Series. None of us were born. Doug Rauch is on the mound against the Yankees, gives up the back-to-back hits. Tommy Lasroda, who's wearing a microphone for ABC, and Keith Jackson was actually the broadcaster of that game, comes out and takes out the pitcher. So here's what it sounded like.
Feel good, Tommy.
I don't give a shit. You feel good. There's 4 motherfucking hits up there.
They all fucking hit the opposite way.
I don't give a fuck.
Tommy, you got a left-hander here. I can strike this motherfucker
I don't
out.
give a shit, Dougie. Well, I may be wrong, but that's my goddamn job. I'll make the fucking decisions here. I'll make the fucking decisions here, okay?
So they go into the dugout.
3 runs on the fucking board yesterday.
I don't give a fuck.
Hey,
Don't
Tommy,
give me any
this
shit,
fucking guy
goddammit.
now.
I'll make the fucking decisions. Keep your fucking mouth shut. I told you.
Looks bad up here, man. Just back off the mound. You want to talk about it, talk about it.
You talk about it in my
I
fucking
feel
office.
bad, and I wouldn't say
I'm
nothing.
just saying, talk about it inside. This is not the place to be talking about it. Okay? That's all I'm trying to say. You can jump on me. Shit. Just trying to avoid a fucking scene out here, that's all.
That's right. It's fucking great for you to be standing out here talking to me like that.
I wouldn't feel good. I wouldn't say
I don't
something.
give a shit, Doug. I'm the fucking manager of the fucking team. I gotta make the fucking decisions. and I'll make them to the fucking best of my ability. It may be the fucking wrong decision, but I'll make it. Don't worry about it. I'll make the fucking decisions. I gave you a fucking chance to walk out of here. I can't fuck around. We're down 2-1. If it was yesterday, it's a different fucking story. I don't give a shit. You got three left-hand hitters, and they all got fucking hits on you. Rivers, Jackson, and the fucking other guy. They all got left. They all hit. That guy that just hit the ball was a left-hander, wasn't he? Dougie, I don't give a shit whether you jammed him or not. He didn't get out. I can't let you out there in a fucking game like this.
That's great. Why
Hey, dude,
is
how do they get these? How do they find the audios to like were coaches mic'd up back in the day?
It was a World Series on channels. It was on ABC, so they would have different boom microphones in the locker room or the dugouts there at that time. So the conversation after Rao was taken out of the game, he stayed next to Lasroda in the dugout, still pleading his case. And you hear him say, "Well, we could do this in the office." And Lasroda's like, "I ain't got no fucking time." Like Tommy was just a different one, a different breed. You don't hear that anymore.
I want to see if somebody can find us the David Wells, Cito Gaston one.
David Wells, Cito Gaston.
I wonder if there's audio of that, because this is I think that the story goes Cito came out to get him, and Boomer grabbed the ball and threw it out to left field, I think, as he was going to
Come on.
or hand it. Yeah.
We don't need audio for that. We just watch the video.
Yeah. Somebody find us the video of David Wells and Cito Gaston in the 2000s.
No.
Well, somebody find it. Hey, somebody get on it. Somebody get on it.
He was younger. Yeah, I think he threw the ball into the stands. He came to get him, and chucked the ball in the stands.
Yeah, so that was the audio. Totally. Was that a conversation, everything you ever went through? Not obviously not in the World Series, but something like that.
Those happened. And the displeasure in the pitchers, which is so funny, right? Like, this is my game. This is my game. And they're like, yeah, you're gassed. It's the fifth inning. You're gassed. You've been behind every hitter. Like, just pass the ball along and move along. Ricky probably has a different perspective of that. But I've heard a few little fiery exchanges on the bump.
Yeah, I mean, I had, with my catcher, I did too. But with the manager, I mean, there's a clip there where supposedly I kind of didn't hand the ball off right to our manager then, John Farrow, and some people tried making a big deal out of it. I kind of just missed the. I was gonna put the ball in his hand, and I kind of missed it, and I kind of had to come back and give it to him.
Sure you did it. Sure you did. Hey, that's one of my biggest pet peeves in baseball is when pitchers don't hand the ball to the skipper. Why? Drives me crazy. I don't know. It drives me crazy.
When they keep it in their glove?
Yeah, and they go like this. Oh, it pisses me off.
I used to do that sometimes. I mean, it was either handing it off to him or you just get it out of my glove,
Yeah, the best part I liked about that.
You're taking me out of the game. You're taking it from me. I'm not handing it to you, type thing. That's kind of the mentality sometimes that I would take, But again, it was no like knock on the manager or anything. As Josh knows, some pitchers just they want to stay in the game, but as a starter, like there's times when you do plead your case, and there's other times when you've grinded for 6-7 innings, or even 5-6 innings against a tough team, and you're like, okay, like come and get me now. Like you come and get me because I'm fried up here, not physically, but mentally I'm fried. So sometimes after those 5-6 inning outings, when the manager would come and get you, you're like, thank goodness, because I just grinded for 100 pitches there.
Yeah, that clip, Doug Rao was in the World Series. The Dodgers down 2-1, and he's like, I can get him out, and the bases were loaded. Like, his line of like, they all went the opposite way. Like, and then the best is Steve Yeager, Boomer, is standing there, the catcher, and he's just looking like he's not even trying to offer one word of support at all. He's like, hey,
stay away from that, man. Like, if there's an interaction happening, that catcher's just kind of back away a little bit and just kind of look around, and they ain't getting involved if there's a conversation.
All right, as we wrap up the show, Totally Time has been a hit. We've been posting them on Instagram, and we've gotten mixed reviews, Totally.
Yeah, I love it. That's why we do this.
By the way, I had a friend, Josh, you'll like this. I had a friend who said he sent that clip to a friend of his who's a parent, kind of on that daddy ball topic thing. and the guy, his friend, replied with, "You don't have kids. You wouldn't know." That was his
No, but
response.
but I have 3 of them, and I know.
Oh, Josh has kids too. Like,
Yeah, I have 3 of them.
Kids.
Yeah.
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 The topic
I
was,
watch it. I literally watch it every week firsthand. So like, there's no argument that like is valid. Like you can't argue me. I watch it with my own eyes.
yeah, they're telling
Yeah.
basically if it's, hey, this clip is about you. No, it's not. Then yeah, you're the problem.
Yeah, 100% guilty. Guilty is yeah. No, they must not be talking about me. Yeah. No, we're not. Don't worry.
All right,
Just
so we
listen
wrap
to it
up the
again.
show. A cool feature is called Totally Time. We still got to get a different artwork. We want to get Totally silhouette, Totally Time. We want to get some stickers made up in Totally, maybe a little merch for that too. Of Totally Time, it's where he has a minute to rant, and our good friend Nick Muffin, who makes the edits, will put it together. Totally, the last couple weeks has been going off on dads and youth sports, really chapping his ass, as he said. Totally,
Yeah.
you seem like you're in a good mood today. What is Totally Time going to be about?
All
He's
right,
ready.
I am in a good mood. I am ready. I am in a good mood. I'm gonna break it into 2 parts because I have one little tidbit that like I drove for 14 hours, so I have a little bit of like it's just something very subtle, but it has to be put out there on the open airwaves. And then I'm gonna go into what I'm really gonna talk about right after that. So just tell me when.
Did you write this down?
No, I didn't write it down. I set my timer.
Okay, ready? And hello, everybody. It's time for Totally Time.
All right. I drove for 14 hours. I'm tired of trucks and cars driving slow in the fast lane. Some of the worst drivers from New York down to Virginia on the roads. Absolutely ridiculous. Move your ass over so people can drive fast past you. Okay, that's that. Second thing, I was very, very taken back by watching the Vanderbilt game and them going with like Apple Watches to call the game. This is when we talk about development with kids. It's like it starts there. How much more control? When you talk about growing professional athletes and growing Major League Baseball players, that should never happen. Teach the kids. Let the kids make the mistakes. Like, do you think one game really matters to that coaching staff if they lose? Like, find a teachable moment for those kids instead of just manipulating them and telling them what to do every time. I hope I never see this in Major League Baseball. 1 minute on the.
Oh man,
Totally
I did see that.
fired
I was
up.
confused by that, by everyone looking at their Apple Watch. Like, what
It's disgusting. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like,
So
what?
just-
What's
To give
Like,
you some
do you-
background, so Vanderbilt players are wearing electronic wristbands showing what pitch the coach is calling from the dugout. It's the first year this is legal in college baseball. Vanderbilt's been trying it out. They tried it out in fall ball. They did that. So essentially, this year the catcher will give 0 signs.
Hey, literally gives no incentive for the fucking kids to watch the game. And I don't mean to drop the F-bomb like that, but that pisses me off because like watch the game, you might learn something, right? Like
I mean,
that's what we had to do.
in college we had the middle infielders had wristbands and the center fielder, but it was more just word of position each like through with each hitter. But at the same time, Turner was our second baseman at Cal State Fullerton, but he was so smart that he would take time to learn the signs, and he'd peek in and be like, all right, I can position myself based on the pitch that Ricky's throwing. That's baseball. That's playing. That's having instincts. That's being a ball player. That's kind of thinking with your pitcher. Okay, he's going to throw a curveball. This hitter looks like, he's going to put the ball in the hole, between first and second, and I'm going to position myself over there. If I get beat, I get beat. But I'm gonna trust myself, trust my instincts, and I feel like that's being taken away. Like the college
it's gone.
And Vanderbilt again has an unbelievable resume of players coming out of there and doing their thing in the big leagues, but I feel like here, like Josh said, you're limiting them. Like when they get to pro ball, you're not gonna have that. So what are you gonna do? Like how are you gonna react to different situations?
Rick, these guys are not even understanding how to pitch.
Yeah.
Even if you have a meeting afterwards, like, hey, this is why we did X, Y, and Z. Like that, it's all about teachable moments in the game. That's how you learn. You make the mistake once, you get told, you fix it. That's being a pro, right? Now it's just like they have no idea why they're throwing a 2-0 cutter up and away into the quadrant 7. Half of them don't even know how to do that probably. But that, I saw it and I was like, wait, we're going down this road.
Yeah. And you know what? at Cal State Fullerton when I was there, the pitching coach did call pitches, but once you got the once you were kind of a starter and you were established, you had the right to shake or go to a different pitch and stuff like that. But I think at times, yeah, when I got to pro ball, it did limit me a little bit because I didn't know how to read swings or read guys' feet in the box and stuff like that. So it does limit you a little bit. So I feel like the more you the more you try and make these the less you try and make these guys so robotic, the better they're going to be for their future. I get it. You want to win in college. Everyone wants to get to the World Series. Everyone wants to get a ring. You want to have an edge on everyone else. But at the same time, let's think about the guys putting on that uniform and where we want to see them. College is cool and all that, and winning titles is cool. But we want to see these guys in the big leagues being superstars.
Mm-hmm. Well said. Well said. Well said. All right, that's another edition of the Let's Go Ricky Roll podcast. Again, if you guys want a sticker, send me a DM. I got them right here. I'm gonna send them out today. Send me a DM at the Let's Go Ricky Roll Instagram page. Has Josh Thole's name on there, and also need some artwork for Thole Time. We got to get Thole Time artwork. We got to get Thole Time stickers. We got to brand out to the East Coast with everybody in Owego, New York, who's letting me know. All the P.O. boxes in upstate New York. Send them. Thole, text me your barn address so I can send you some stickers for the kids. Yeah. We'll set that up there. Also, make sure you rate, review, let us know what's going on, what you like. And also follow the Ricky Romero Foundation Instagram page. We have now created the Ricky Romero Foundation. So there's a big things coming for the kids in East LA. That Instagram page is also available. Totally, anything to plug? Anybody to upset
That's with? That's it, baby. We're ready to go.
And tell the Roanoke Yard Dogs to send the merch. We will be wearing it next week.
I like that. We'll see if we can get it out.
All right, Rick. We'll see you at the golf course tomorrow. Thanks to everybody who listens and subscribes and all that other good stuff. We'll talk to you guys soon. Next week. Adios.
Don't hang up, guys.
Oh, what you got?
No, I'm saying just go off air.
Oh, part 2. Oh, see, if you guys would pay for the... All right, yeah, all right. Don't hang up. Bye.
I'll see you guys.